I think No Stone Left Alone is a new generational Canadian way to remember. Both my parents served in World War II. My mother with the Canadian Women's Army Corps, and my father was military police, and he served over in France. So after the war, we've settled here in Edmonton, and Remembrance was always a big part of our family. And then my mother passed away when I was 12 years old. And we all had a few minutes with her before they took her to the hospital. And she asked me that day, she said, "Maureen, don't cry when I pass, but please, please don't forget me on Armistice Day." And that November I took my poppy, and that was the first time I brought it out to her headstone as a promise to her, and I've been doing it ever since. And I made it part of my world, I guess, by doing that every year personally, whether I was with my boyfriend in high school, then when I met my husband, then when we had our children. It's just something I've always done, always made them come with me. And then years into it, I would bring the kids from where they rest up here to the cenotaph. And it was my youngest daughter. And she said one day, "Mom, how come they all don't get one?" And I thought to myself, well, I'm gonna think about that and see if I can do that. I recently was in the battlefields for the first time in my life. And I don't want to get too emotional about it, but I've done this No Stone Left Alone for 13 years. And going over to Europe and seeing the decimation of what happened there, we can't see that because we just get to skip along because we've never had that conflict, because the guys went over and helped and then protected us here. And we've been protected ever since. Everybody wants to be remembered. When all of us pass, everybody wants to be remembered. But I think these guys need to be remembered more because they changed the world. So many volunteers across this country are really tapping in to the younger generation who was very removed not only from the history of what we've experienced here in Canada, but they really didn't have anything tangible to do on Remembrance Day. They might have stood at a cenotaph with their parents or grandparents, but they had no engagement. So my mission became, I want the kids to actually do something, to see it like I see it. When I come out here every year, I see it very differently. Last year we completed 236 ceremonies in every province in the country. We are in France, we are in the Netherlands, we'll be in Arlington this year. I think it just shows that when it's right to do something, everybody feels it and everybody wants to be part of it. It all takes work and it all takes money, unfortunately. And we really do need the support now, and I'm confident now that this program has a stamp on Canada that I don't need to shy away from asking anymore. I want to ask, please help us if you can by giving so the program can grow, volunteering at one of your local cemeteries and local events that are going on, and research some of these people and help us remember them all, because there's a lot of headstones to remember here in Canada, and we really do want to leave no stone left alone.